Final score, Wrexham 2, Swansea 3. I'm getting a bit sick of this. I mean, if you want, just play one of the last three podcasts from Wrexham playing Swansea, because now our last four matches have all finished 3-2 to the Swans, and it's getting annoying. It's getting annoying. I felt so gutted is the best word, I think, in this situation for the Wrexham players and the staff at the final whistle, because they threw themselves into it in front of an impressively vocal crowd at the Rock, and it just wouldn't happen. Those games, those high-scoring games. So, first game of last season, we drew 3-3 with them. We were winning 3-2 in the 95th minute against 10 players. But there's goals in all these games. They're always wide open, and so often Swansea have got those late goals. We did this time, to be fair. But, it's just, we have played so well in all those matches, and to have lost all four is crazy. This one felt very, very harsh indeed. We were unfortunate. Although I do think we had got a slice of luck as well with one big refereeing decision. But hey, let's have a look at it. Anyway, as it is, that's one of our paths to a trophy closed now. That was the semi-final of the League Cup. We obviously won't win that now. So attention falls on us getting into the top half of the league, and also, and here's a thought, playing in 4 weeks' time in the quarter-final of the Welsh Cup at home to Swansea again. I'd get your ticket. It's not going to be 0-0, I assure you. Anyway, this match, I mean, it started off in the most sensational style. We had a really good chance after 18 seconds, which their keeper saved really well. And after 72 seconds, we were losing. So yeah, we start off with Liv Fuller driving through the middle of the pitch, finding Rosie Hughes, who's attacking the box. She plays in Cara Jones. Murray had let Cara Jones get goal side of her and lunged in, and I think her lunge did the job of just putting Cara slightly off balance, but she still struck the shot well inside the right post, and it was a good save by Haynes, who is a terrific build for a goalkeeper. She dived across to her left and was able to parry it away. And like I said, Swansea went up the other end and punished us. Murray doing well again, this time hemmed in on the left-hand side of the pitch, but managing to spot a passing lane and playing it just as it opened to find Hancock. She then played a good ball over the top to send Stacey John Davis down the left-hand side, and she did the job, cut into the box, got her head up, she had options, played it to Feast to the near post, and Amy Deacon had a simple finish. Amber Lightfoot was marking two in the middle, and Deacon had just that bit of space at the near post, and Stacey John Davis was ruthless, which, to be fair, is also an issue in these games. I'm whinging away there, but Swansea are a good side, and they have got quality players, and they're a little bit more ruthless than we are, and that maybe is the difference. Stacey John Davis handed an opportunity. She's a good player. She did the obvious well. I know it sounds simplistic, but yeah, these little things matter. Wrexham were a bit rocked back, but we did look to come back at them. Liv Fuller again, winning the ball up on the right corner of the box, interchanging passes with Rosie Hughes, and then to the left foot, hitting a shot from around 20-odd yards, which is certainly her range, trying to put it over the keeper, but it didn't dip down in time to go under the bar. But then, just before the halfway point in the first half, a moment of controversy, which I think that this is the one where I think we got just a touch lucky. It was a good piece of play in their own half for Swansea by Hancock. She did really well to feed the ball forwards, and Deacon's pace, cutting in from the right or going through the middle, was causing us issues. She managed to get in between Allen and Davis. Great first touch by her just to knock her beyond Allen, and Allen sliding in from behind. She did play the ball. I will say this. She did play the ball. I would argue she played the player first. And the referee didn't give a free kick. I think let's just say we were incredibly lucky, I think. because there was no two ways about it. This was right down the middle of the half. Allen was the last defender. There's no question. If he gives the free kick, we're down to 10 players. But he doesn't. I think the situation made him not give it, personally. We got away with it. And Swansea continued to just push on in this period. They had a great opportunity in the 25th minute, 3 breaking away on 2. Our wing-backs play very high up, and they were exploiting this and leaving their 3 strikers up on our centre-backs, and it did open up some good breakaway opportunities. So Wrexham had more of the ball, and were looking quite constructive, but Swansea were quick and dangerous on the break. Like I said, Deacon on the right is fast, Stacey John Davis on the left is fast, and then in the middle, Pinder is a good striker, and those 3 were being fed down the sides of Wrexham's back 3 and were causing issues. So on this occasion, a 3-on-2 breakaway down the left-hand side, which is broken up because Brooke Cairns, and if you look back, I don't know if it's in the highlights or not, but if you look back, you can see she's absolutely busting her guts to sprint back into her own box to make it 3-on-3, and she manages it, and she also manages to get the interception in as the killer pass is played to put Deacon in on goal. She does brilliantly. In fact, she sprints so hard, the pass is actually behind her, and she does so well, off balance, to still stretch out behind and get enough of a touch to divert it to her teammates rather than allow Swansea to be in. Great piece of hard-working defending. We then went up the other end, and we made a couple of chances. A free kick on the right-hand side, put into the box by Lily Jones, only half cleared. Karen Allen wins it back on the edge of the box, and it deflects into the edge of the 6-yard box. Phoebe Davis is chasing after it, and Murray just about beats her to it as she's looking to strike it first time. The ball gets partially cleared. It comes out to Fuller on the left side of the Swansea box, and she backs in, pins her marker, and then a lovely drag back rolls her and beats her from a tight angle, or she just tops her shot a bit, and it's a pretty straightforward save for Haynes. But Wrexham keep on coming as we finish the half strongly. Within a minute, another chance, a tackle by Erin Lovett, picking out Brooke Cairns about 30 yards out on the right, and she goes driving in on the diagonal, does really well, brushes a couple of players aside, and then drives in a shot which Haynes has to get down sharply to at a near post. A couple of minutes later, another very, very good move by Wrexham threatens to get us an equaliser. Phoebe Davis with a good tackle in midfield. The ball falls to Fuller, who swiftly plays a ball out to the left-hand side. It's a lovely idea. She's really tempting Abby Iddenden to get in around the back. Chloe Chivers runs with her. Chivers had a good game in the centre of midfield, I thought, for Swansea, really pulling the strings and playing a lot of good forward passes to set off breakaways. Chivers is not as quick. Did I say Iddenden then? Lightfoot, I meant to say. She's not as quick as Amber Lightfoot, but she just about manages to get there and get the ball off Lightfoot. Lightfoot will not give up, though. The ball's on the goal line now, left-hand side by the corner flag, and Lightfoot tackles her, wins it back, and pulls the ball back nicely to Rosie Hughes. There's a defender coming in, though, so Hughes hurried, takes it with the wrong foot and just tries to hit it with the outside of her foot, and she can't keep it down. It skims over the bar. So Wrexham finishing the half well. Swansea starting to look a bit concerned. When we played at the racecourse earlier this season, that was a pattern as well, that once we got some attack momentum going, well, the Swansea got some very good defenders. Williams and Jones are excellent centre-backs. But they started looking uncertain in that match. And in this one, we're starting to knock quite hard at the door. And then Swansea strike back. Firstly, with a decent chance, which was exactly what I was describing. Chivers in the quarterback role, pinging a great ball down the right channel. Deacon doing really well with pace round the outside of Phoebe Davis, but then she drives it just wide from about 15 yards in the right channel. But the second time she gets a chance to make that run, she goes inside and punishes us. This is the 3rd minute of added time at the end of the first half. There was a lot of added time, 10 minutes in total, because there was a rough and tumble, proper feisty cup tie. And frankly, as I'll get to in a bit, I think 10 minutes was too little, but okay, never mind. On this occasion, though, Deacon running at Davis decides to cut inside. Does well, gets enough space that she's about to get a shot off. Phoebe Davis lunges in to try and stop her. And, I mean, if I'm honest, it's similar to the Karen Allen one. Looking back at it again, I must be frank, at the time, I just thought, that is a penalty. I didn't think there was any doubt. She took Deacon as she goes through it. Looking at the replay, it's quite similar to Allen. She does actually play the ball. But again, she goes through the player. So I think the ref's got it right. There's no dissent from Davis. Although Lily Jones gets a yellow card for dissent. A rather hastily doled out yellow card, I think, as does Haynes, the Swansea goalkeeper, right at the death of the game. The referee's just very swift and had hardly much chance for him to say anything. John Davis steps up and sends Del Morgan the wrong way, and it's 2-0 at half time. And, well, second half, obviously we're now up against it. The first 10-15 minutes, I was worried that we might crack. Not because of attitude. In fact, in some ways, the attitude might have been a contributing factor, because we were really trying to hustle Swansea, trying to get at them. And I felt we were a little too frantic, perhaps. We were playing like it was the last 10 minutes. We weren't quite getting our passing going. Because in the first half, like I said, we had more of the ball. We had more of the pressure. We weren't really doing that. And Swansea were picking us apart a bit on the breakaway. Chivers with another great pass, just slicing it through our defence to send John Davis clear around the back of the defence, left-hand side. She decided to hit it first time and totally mishit it and it just dribbled apologetically into the side netting. A real waste of a fantastic position. Then a huge let-off just before the hour. When Del Morgan came out of the box but didn't get her pass correct. Deacon intercepts, surges down the right. The goal is open. And she's got a fantastic chance. Just roll it in. Stacey John Davis is just on her own in the box. Just roll it to her. It's 3-0. And she gets the pass wrong, incredibly, and knocks it behind her. And we are so lucky to survive that. A couple of minutes after that, in fact, we make a double substitution, which makes a huge impact on the game. Rebecca Pritchard and Phoebe Davis come off. Abby Iddenden and hang on a second, who else came on as well? Of course, Nat Clark. Come on. Clark goes to the left-sided centre-back spot that Phoebe Davis was occupying. And she does a good job against Deacon as well. So Deacon is fast. She's hard to handle, but Clark manages to sort of nullify that threat a bit. And frankly, for the rest of the game, Swansea don't really get free all that much. Iddenden does well, dropping off and linking with Hughes. But crucially, because Rebecca Pritchard increasingly did well as the game went on, but Cara Jones shifts to the right as a wing-back, and suddenly the game all revolves around her. She finds a terrific amount of space. Now, whether that's because now we got two strikers, sort of, one of them is pinning the left-sided centre-back, because Swansea, like us, play with the wing-backs quite high up, I don't know. But certainly Cara Jones just keeps finding space, and we are really getting at Swansea. Within a couple of minutes of the change, Cara Jones has scored, but it was a funny old goal. Good ball out from the back by Lily Jones over to the right-hand side to Cara Jones, who feeds it into the box. Fuller, defender makes contact with her outside the box, and Fuller goes down. Ref doesn't give a foul. To be fair, Fuller doesn't ask for one either. She picks herself quickly up. She still has the ball. She drives at that defender, Murray. And then as she looks to go round her, Murray has another go. And for me, it's the same as the Phoebe Davis one. She's gone through. She's got a toe on the ball, but she's gone through Fuller to get it. And I'm thinking, that's a pretty clear penalty. The ref doesn't give it. But luckily, while everyone else is complaining, Cara Jones, the ball rolls out wide, and she sticks it in the net. Does she mean it? Who knows? Oh, yeah. No, she didn't mean it. But having said that, one of those situations, put the ball in a dangerous area from the wing. Well, there are a few more dangerous areas in the back of the opponent's net. But yeah, I think she looked across at the far post, and she gets a bit on it, goes over the keeper, and it's in. And we are back in the game. Never mind the penalty appeals. It's 2-1, and the momentum is with us, and we really push on. And at this point, you're thinking, right, we're gonna equalise here. We are looking very, very promising. Love it. coming forwards, feeding the ball up towards the edge of the box. Lily Jones making a run through the middle. Looks like she's going to get a shot off about 15 yards out. A good tackle stops her, but it ricochets out to the right-hand side. And there's Cara Jones again, who strikes a shot across the face of goal. It's just off target. Iddenden at the far post loses her marker and just can't reach it as he stretches to try and volley it in. Then again, Wrexham pushing up the pitch. Good work by Lovett, feeding a nice little ball in between two defenders to open up the pitch. Wrexham have an overload on the left-hand side. Lily Jones receives it, cuts into the box, but then pulls the shot quite weakly wide. It looked worse than it was in a way because the other side of the pitch was quite empty and she didn't have that many options when she looked up. It looks like a wonderful position to pull the ball back, but I don't think she had quite the options that you'd normally expect in that situation. At the other end, Wynne comes on in midfield for Swansea, and her first touch, she nearly scores. It's Wrexham having to defend as the ball is played in towards the edge of the box, partially cleared, and Wynne makes a good contact on it from the edge of the area. It rolls to her for a long time. She's got plenty of time to set herself, but she strikes her a bit too straight, and Morgan saves well. So going into the last 10 minutes now, Wrexham in the ascendant, pushing hard. Like I said, there have been a lot of injuries. Swansea have been taking their time over restarts massively. Ref hasn't shown any cards for that as of yet. In fact, he doesn't show cards for time wasting. Fuller was not happy because at one point she smacked the ball into a Swansea player because he wouldn't go step back off the ball for a free kick. I must say, I don't blame Swansea. If the referee's not going to penalise time wasting, my instructions if I was a manager would be waste time. If he's going to let us get away with it, waste time. So anyway, the decisive thing, though, is that in the 82nd minute, Wrexham let in the horrible goal. Play gets dragged across the right side. Wrexham are just chasing everything and working so hard. And we pen Stacey John Davis in right on the touchline, on the halfway line. She does really well to extricate herself, though, and she intelligently switches immediately. Hancock's feeds it down the line, and we are absolutely wide open. This is a major problem now. Wrexham players desperately trying to get back, and the heartbreaking thing is that actually the situation is retrieved because the ball is driven into the goal mouth and it's not a great cross. Thomas putting it much too close to Morgan. There's no Swansea player in the 6-yard box apart from Emily Richards, who's at the far post. But, well, Allen doesn't go for the ball, but Morgan seems at the last second to be distracted by her presence, I don't know, and misses the ball, and it just rolls through, and Richards has got the easiest tap in. It's a horrible goal to concede, and such a blow, 8 minutes left with 3-1 down. To Wrexham's massive credit, we just keep going. And the remaining, 14 minutes of the match, because the ref adds on 6 minutes at the end, is just us absolutely launching everything and trying everything that we possibly can. Fuller sets up a big chance. Hughes in the left channel does really well to beat a player. She's down the corner of the 6-yard box, but the keeper comes out and makes a really big save as Hughes strikes it on target. We do get a goal back, 5th minute of added time, and it's a great goal as well. Iddenden with some lovely skill to just extricate herself from a crowd in the middle of the pitch. The break's on. She feeds it on to Hughes in the left channel. Hughes helps it on beautifully. It's a really well-judged pass, which invites Lightfoot to pull it back in first time. She does, and Fuller 6 yards out, pulls it across the keeper and inside the far corner. And Wrexham are 3-2 down. And I mean, I've got to say, like I alluded to earlier, the ref really ought to have added more than 6 minutes on. You know, there were a couple of very long stoppages for the physios coming on, plus, like I said, time wasting too. So real frustration for Wrexham that we didn't get longer to go for it. We had about 100 seconds or so, and we managed to launch it forwards. There was a heroic little passage of play right at the end of the game when Brooke Cairns, desperate to get us forwards, wins 3 block tackles in a row just to try and force us into the Swansea box. And she does progress the ball essentially from, well, almost the halfway line into the box with these 3 challenges, but the last one ricochets kindly for Haynes, and she's able to grab hold of it. And the whistle goes. Cue Swansea with massive celebrations because they know they've once again somehow managed to squeeze that result out against us right at the death. The other semi-final also 3-2, also dramatic. Chantal Tier scoring the winner for TNS in the 2nd minute of added time. They were 2-0 down in that match with 8 minutes left. Woo-wee. So, yeah, 2 sensational semi-finals. But sadly, we're not going to be in the final. But you cannot ask for more in terms of effort, I tell you what. There was a lot of quality in there too. Well, looking at the performances, Del Morgan made a couple of good saves. She'll be so frustrated with that 3rd goal, as will Karen Allen, of course. And Allen, as ever, was rugged and aggressive in defence and was bringing the ball out and getting a clobbering, as she always does, as she bravely carries that ball. But the 2 of them will be so frustrated that that goal came about in that way. Erin Lovett, I thought, was excellent, absolutely excellent. Won a lot of headers, typically aggressive in the tackle. Used the ball very well. Played a couple of key passes that set up opportunities as well. I was really impressed with her. Phoebe Davis as well. Used the ball well when she was coming forward. She made one wonderful trademark tackle that was heard around the world. Well, we got comments from the States and Ask Wrexham from the West Coast as well. That's around the world. Deacon was a threat, and her pace was going to trouble any centre-back. Wrexham freshened her up a little bit after an hour, but yeah, Davis had a solid game. The wing-backs, Pritchard grew into the game more and more, but she wasn't able to really get much service into the box as she normally does. Amber Lightfoot started incredibly strongly. Early on, everything was coming down the left for us. And she finished the game very strongly as well. Good assist and pulled back a couple of good balls in to set up chances for players. The centre mids, Fuller again, excellent. Driving us forwards. Only really had the one chance to have a shot from distance. But she's a threat. Gets another goal. It's incredible, that, isn't it? Likewise, Lily Jones, such energy in midfield, and in the first half hour, she was really terrific in the way she took the game to Swansea and then kept going, and at the end had some key moments. Brooke Cairns too, so good on the ball, so comfortable on the ball, and had, like I said, right to the very end, was working hard, was feeding some nice passes in. And then up front, Cara Jones was lively up front, and then when she went as a wing back, she was spectacular. Quite frankly, really great effort by her. But quite apart from her goal, it was being able to release her down the right that really caused Swansea issues. They did reorganise themselves substantially, bringing on Davis, who they'd signed 2 days before, who's a Welsh international right back, as I understand it. Initially on the right side of attack, but then 2 or so minutes later, after an injury, switched her to left back, and she did quite well actually against Cara Jones in the closing stages. But Jones was a major threat. Rosie Hughes as well was a threat, both in terms of creating and trying to get shots off. A couple of times when maybe she could have played the early ball, and that would have been the right thing to do. But like I say, her hold-up play is so good. And is a massive asset for us this season. Off the bench, Nat Clark did well when she came on. I mean, clearly she's been put on partly as a fresh pair of legs to handle Deacon, but also typically she used the ball intelligently, passing out from the back. And Inden, brilliant to see her back after injury. You worry when a player goes down like she did at TNS how long she'll be out, so fantastic to see her back in the reckoning. And she was quality again, that link between midfield and attack. Lovely work in the build-up to the second goal. And so unlucky she couldn't quite reach that cross shot by Cara Jones and deflect her in. But it didn't happen, and well, that's life, isn't it, everyone? Real shame that, but this Wrexham team, well, we knew it anyway, and we've seen it here. Doesn't give up, keeps on fighting. Frustration, but we go again. And like I said, quite apart from the big league games to come, that game against Swansea in the Welsh Cup, be there. If you've got any sense, be there. That's going to be an absolute cracking game, guaranteed. With a final score of Wrexham 2, Swansea City 3, I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.